Waiving clinical trials for drugs approved in select countries. Why it is in the news? The central government has decided to waive the need for clinical trials in India if the drugs are approved in the US, UK, Japan, Australia, Canada, and European Union. This move could make drugs made outside of India more accessible and affordable in the local market. What are clinical trials? In clinical trial, investigators enroll participants who meet certain qualifying criteria, then administer the intervention being tested, and finally measure the outcomes. Trials can test drugs, medical devices, and even procedures which should help investigators to determine the safety and efficacy of the intervention to a reasonably high degree of confidence. Present situation of clinical trials in India. In India, the Indian Council of Medical Research maintains an online public record system called the Clinical Trial Registry India CTRI, hosted by the ICMR's National Institute of Medical Statistics. The CTRI is a free online public record system to register clinical trials being conducted in India. Several medicines already approved by other regulatory authorities in the US, the UK, and the European Union are not immediately available for Indian patients. This is because of certain regulatory requirements under the Drugs and Cosmetics Act and the rules made thereunder. Waiving clinical trials in India. Legal provisions. According to an order issued by India's Drug Regulatory Agency, Central Drugs Standard Control Organization CDSCO, the central government has authorized the exemption of local clinical trials for approval of new drugs as per the Rule 101. 5 categories of drugs that will be considered under the waiver. Orphan drugs for rare diseases, gene and cellular therapy products, new drugs used in pandemic situations, new drugs used for special defense purposes, and new drugs having significant therapeutic advances over the current standard care. Need for the waiver. It has been a long standing demand of the pharmaceutical companies and health experts for enhanced drug accessibility for patients. Significance of the waiver for Indian patients. This will significantly benefit both domestic and foreign drug manufacturers by expediting the approval process and facilitating faster access to essential medication for treating diseases. Which of the following countries are included in the list for waiving clinical trials for drugs approval outside India? Option A, China. Option B, Japan. Option C, Brazil. Option D, Russia. Give your answer in the comment box.